How do we start it though? Just like that, hey? Hey,
Yeah.
Daryl.
Hey, Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Daryl. Good to see you again. You're here. I don't know if anybody noticed or if you haven't watched our first episode yet, you can go back and see it. But when we were done
Yeah.
recording, Daryl had mentioned that it kind of looked like I might have looked like a kind of Disney character there with the way I had my discs set up. So in honor of that, I've come prepared with
There
my
you go.
R2D2 ears
That's
that I picked up.
that's almost perfect.
And
They look like they're just sitting on the shelf right now.
well, I'm not going to wear this the whole episode. I just thought you might get a kick out of that. Now, I know I threw this on you. We didn't discuss
Okay.
this, so put on your
Yeah.
thinking cap here and shoot some
Yeah.
holes in my idea.
The bit of a pause there was me taking a second to try and think pros and the cons.
And all you can
I,
think of is how wonderful the idea is, right?
I yeah, we'll end the episode there.
Yeah, no.
Or should I say, it could be partly my catchphrase? You know that I like your idea, but you're wrong.
Ouch.
I
So,
don't know. I don't necessarily love the idea. I'm not going to say I hate it. I'm just
okay.
trying to think why I don't like it. I
Hey,
think
everybody. Welcome to Chain Out, the disc golf podcast for Canada. Nope, I'm not doing that one. I got lost. I got lost.
I could
I,
feel you were like searching for words.
I'm like, I went way beyond the simple thing.
Yeah.
So we'll do it again. 5 seconds. It'll just be simpler. I think what it is I don't know what
Episode 3?
it's episode 3, but do I want to call it the Chain Out or Welcome to Chain Out podcast? Episode 3, I think.
Chain Out Podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Because that's how we've got it labeled. So
Yeah.
with you, I'm Jeremy, and with me, as always, is Daryl.
Hello, everybody. How's it going, Jeremy?
Going well, Daryl. How about you? How you feeling, buddy?
I don't know. Can you tell? My voice is. I'm not. I got that bit of a sexy Barry White voice going on, I think,
Oh,
or
you
just
say sexy Barry White. I was thinking maybe a little Phoebe Buffet smelly cat
maybe.
voice there.
Yeah.
Podcasting energy that we've got is like a healing energy. That's what I'm going
There
to
you
say.
go. Yeah. Channeling my inner Phoebe Buffet.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thanks everybody, and we'll see you on the next one. Until then, till then, Smelly Cat says, "Chain out."
Okay, now.
There for it. But for me, I think what the difference is that if I have an errant shot at Nor'Wester, I'm gonna hit a car. A car is pretty strong. It's gonna my disc is gonna bounce off it. If I have an errant shot at the hills and
I
I
know
hit
where
a
you're going.
person, it's gonna bounce off them, but it could do a lot more damage hitting a person. And I feel that those tight
Right.
lines, I'd rather go onto a road and hit a car or hit a truck or something like that than hit an actual person. So that's what I'm gonna use as my deciding factor of why I'd prefer to play Nor'Wester. Plus, Nor'Wester is gonna have the longer distance, all of the things that we
Right.
talked about than the hills. But one of those things is I'd rather hit a car than hit a person.
Try not to hurt.
Hey everyone, welcome to Chain Out Podcast. I'm Jeremy, and with me, as always, is your favorite co-host, Daryl.
Favorite co-host?
Why, thank you, Daryl and Jeremy. I'm so happy to be on Chain Out Podcast with you and glad that you were able to invite me. I'm really excited to tell you a lot about what, oh, I'm not the guest that you were expecting to have on the show tonight? How did you know?
That's the thing. So I had a huge mix
Yeah.
of different brands, but then I hold a Comet, and then I hold a Buzz, and I hold a Wasp, or I hold whatever. Name your EMAC Truth or whatever.
Yeah.
Feel a little bit differently in your head. It's not the same disc, even if
Yeah.
it's virtually the same disc. If you hold an EMAC Truth, Buzz, SS, or whatever
Yeah.
you consider to be the same as that, it's not gonna in your head it's not going to be the same disc. So
Yeah.
Right.
That's such an interesting way to look at it, Jeremy. I've never thought about that. I mean, I know I've spoken. Obviously, Tim said that at one point he had 7 Nate Sexton Firebirds in his bag, and they kind of explain it. Yeah, obviously, the more beat in the disc gets, the more understable it gets. So that's why they have that. But until Brendan just said it, then like not necessarily having the disc because it beats in, but just having it because it feels the same. You've got
Yes.
the same disc in your hand, you're throwing it, and that's kind of just hit me there for a second. So it feels like
and
I've just leveled up in my disc golf knowledge now. That's the reason for having multiple discs of the same, because of the feel.
yeah, like I'm not trying to get you to stop buying discs. I just want you to buy more of the exact same disc.
Yeah, there we go.
I
Yeah,
just have to buy more of a different disc.
you want to hear something? I hear there's a secret word on the street. I don't know nothing, but I hear the secret word is horse feeder. But you didn't hear it from me. Yeah, no. So who knows what's going to happen in the spring and summer? Maybe we might go down to 1 every 2 weeks. Maybe we'll
Don't
the
talk
quality won't.
like that.
Who knows what's going to happen? I'm just preempted. I'm just kind of giving ourselves a barrier. What do they say? Under
Under
promise and over deliver.
over deliver. I'm
There
just
you
gonna
go.
over deliver all the time. You
Yeah,
like the
no, you.
weekly? We're giving you the weekly.
Yeah, you don't have to episode. All right, let's do it. What have you been up to? People don't want to hear our uh, woes of editing. They just want the final product, and this is the final product. So, what have you been up to?
It's easy for you to say, hey, yeah, I'm cool if women play. Oh, it's a women's event. I'm going to go out to this other course and play that weekend. Well, why wouldn't you just give that weekend up and support them?
That's
So,
such a good point.
I was thinking that same thing, Jeremy. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I know
Well,
it
you
makes
can,
total sense as well.
Kristen Swirls, I think, has an event coming up, right?
She's up.
she's up first.
Yeah.
She's up first. How many men are going to step up and spot? Like when I was in Cranbrook for Crush in 2022, we were flooded. Like the men were running the raffles, they were running the check-in, they were running giving out, like passing the prizes to the tournament director, they were spotting. They like it was insane. Like we had so many men out there doing so many great things for the sport. It was just awesome to see the support. I had Crush here. We had guys coming out. We had families coming out. The moms were playing, and the sons and husbands were helping. And I think it's really important. Um, it's it's very easy to say I'm okay with women playing. It's a little harder to give up your time to support women playing, and that's what speaks volumes. That's the true show of how much you really want them there. Does that? I guess.
Oh,
Yeah. No,
I'm not calling anybody out in
volumes.
particular. I'm just saying from personal experience and noticing the necessity of needing men, especially to walk the walk, just don't talk the talk.
well, Gary,
I felt like sorry, I felt like that was just a light bulb moment that you just mentioned there, because when you were saying it, in my mind, I was thinking, well, it's a women's event, so they don't want that masculinity involved in it because they don't want, oh, the men are here thinking that we can't look after the event. Like that was my mindset. But then when hearing you say that you want men involved because it shows that we're supporting, I looked at it from a different point of view, and I can understand now. Oh, actually, we should be volunteering, and it's not like we're trying to take over. It's not like we're trying to say you can't run your own event. We're not saying any of that. It's just being involved and doing whatever needs to be done, like you said, picking up litter, spotting, and anyway, anything that happens just to make the tournament run successfully.
And the best thing to do is just reach out to the female TD and say, I want to give up my weekend and help you out. What can I do?
Guess what, Jeremy?
what?
Now our listeners and viewers have a chance to enter their own competition because, drumroll please, we're announcing our first ever Chain Out podcast competition. It just sounds like we're a bunch of trains.
Our guest today is an Alberta FPO player. She is a personal coach with Fit Theorem. She is the captain of BR's 2024 ambassador team. She is one of the most positive and energetic people you will meet. She likes to go by the title Hang on, Daryl.
What?
I gotta stop the intro, man.
Why? I thought you were doing a good job.
Well, when you have a great guest on like we do today,
Right.
I don't think the standard intro is gonna work. I think we need more.
More. How can you
Yeah.
how can we go bigger than that?
I think we need a song, buddy.
A song? It better be a solo song.
Yeah, no, I was gonna put you on the spot right away.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Hey,
thinking more of a song. Yeah, are you ready for this? I hope you're ready for
I'm
this. I've
ready.
been working on this all
in.
week. All week I've been working on this. All right.
I
So
expect
this is a
nothing less.
song inspired by the great Tom Jones. Here we go. High's a bomb, high's a bomb, high's a bomb hong. Not only can she throw it straight, but she can throw it long. High's a bomb, high's a bomb, high's a bomb hong. It's time to bring her on the show. So Daryl, if you're ready, let's go. So what do you think?
That's awesome. That's one of the best intros yet. I don't know how you're going to keep topping it, but
I don't,
the listeners demand that you top it each week, so you're setting the bar high.
don't speak for the listeners. They may have said, don't ever do that again, Jeremy.
Exactly. Hey everybody, welcome to Around the Basket, episode 20. I am Daryl, sitting beside me as always, except for a couple of weeks when he takes some time off. Jeremy, how you doing?
Doing great, man. I'm still riding a nice high from our chain out episode tonight.
Man, yeah,
Talking to the wombat himself.
yeah, it's such a great episode. I don't know if there's any people that just listen to Around the Basket, but if you happen to catch this and you don't listen to Chain Out,
You got to get over
go
that.
back and watch this episode. We don't normally say this. All the episodes are great.
Yes.
I mean, it was a little bit self-indulgent for me at times, and I apologize, but I'm sorry, not sorry.
Well, I think there was a ton of fans listening, and I think everybody in their heart they've either thrown an Innova disc
Yeah.
or they bag an Innova disc, even if there may not be an Innova player.
And it's funny because during the day, I'm thinking, oh wow, I'm interviewing Jeff Panis tonight. Like,
Yeah.
what am I going to talk about? Well, I could talk about this, I could talk about that, and I've got this question, and that will lead into this. And then when it comes to it, and he just gives the answers that he does, and I'm like, I just didn't have time to talk about all the things that I wanted to talk about.
Well, I think what's going to happen is we're going to find him at Canadian Nationals, and you'll get your opportunity to chat then.
Oh, I don't want to talk his ear off and corner him.
On that fun crokinole game that you could do just for fun.
Yeah, well, exactly. I don't mind taking him on in a rec game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you know, these are our Patreon episodes. They happen at 8:30 p.m.
Ish.
around the basket. It's around 8:30 p.m.
Like what you did.
Yeah, on Wednesdays. And that's when you can join us live and you get the free link on Patreon, or you can support us. We appreciate either way. And then it comes out on Saturday. And it also now, which is new,
Yeah.
is an audio podcast as well.
Now you listen back to our podcasts. I tend to watch them back because I'm more of a visual person and I like the technology part of it. You listen to them.
Mhm.
Have you been listening to the Around the Basket?
I did. I listened to our last week episode with Jordan Alway, and he did a great job. And what I really liked is that, yeah, there is a video component to the show. Tonight we're going to be showing some discs, so that maybe doesn't always translate well to audio, but most of the time it's a great listen on the audio side.
Yeah, good.
We got great voices, if I do say so
Well,
myself.
you do.
Oh, is that what it is? The only when I bring back the deep dark voice.
The deep dark announcer voice. Quick
So,
shout out to the people in the chat. Hey Dylan, hey Dina, anybody else as well.
yeah, and if you didn't listen, sorry, to last week's episode, Jordan Alway was on it. He's a guy who wears many hats. He's the Alberta PDGA coordinator. He's the Cold Garden Cup tour director. He is the tournament director of the Lost Egg, and he's part of the tournament directing team at Falcons Flight. So he's doing a ton for disc golf. Go back and check that one out if you haven't heard it already.
Yeah. Where do we stand on Patreon members, Jeremy?
Patreon members, we are now We're on episode 20
Yeah.
of Around the Basket, and we've just surpassed 20 with 21 Patreon members.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. And speaking of Jordan Alway,
Yeah.
I think he's our newest one, isn't he?
He was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He signed up last week.
So thanks, Jordan, for joining, and we appreciate that. It's been great. It helps us out with the podcast and making sure we get this wonderful programming for you. And Daryl can flip buttons and do different things like that. So
there you go.
Mm-hmm. And as always, Patreon members, be interactive. That's what the show is about. Ask questions in that. We had so many questions on the Chain Out podcast earlier, but there was, as you could see, only so much time for you to put them up, and you put as many up as you could.
Yeah, I always like to, like we say, that the Patreon is where the community, the members will really get involved. You have questions, we'll put them up. We'll interact with you, all that type of thing. But in the Chain Out podcast as well, I always, sometimes I'm reading the comments, and I know that the chat is having their own chat.
Yeah.
They're talking back and forth. Like this week, kind of the topic was about how many discs had been donated to lakes over the different
I missed that. Is that what was
Yeah,
going
a
on?
lot of people. Sam was Brendan, you're definitely interactive. Thank you very much. Sometimes the only interactive, but you're good. Yeah, Sam had donated a few to Redcliffe. I think Kevin said he donated a Zuka cart at certain courses.
He didn't actually, like a Zuka cart worth
full-
of disc. He
full-
didn't actually drop his Zuka cart in the lake, did he?
I hope not. I know you see that in regular bowl golf when people get mad and all that. They snap their golf club and throw it in the water and all that. I hope he didn't just pick up his Zuka cart and just toss it into the lake.
Yeah. Well, that's a great topic to kind of maybe continue on now that you brought it up. I've been quite lucky, and I know you've seen it from me even in Rundle League last year, is I've had discs go in the water, sometimes just to the edge of the water, sometimes deep in the water, even so much at Rundle where I've had to
wade in
my shorts a bit to wade in just to make my 25-foot pole reach to the disc. But how many discs have you actually lost and never gotten back?
When you were saying that, I don't even know if I want to say it because
Would it be jinxing something?
Exactly.
Really?
I've lost discs in trees and bushes and things like that. They've gone out of sight and you just can never find them.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but do you remember the one time you lost the disc in the tree, hole 18, Niska-Pasquak? You and I were there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it was
Well, I didn't lose it. I knew where it was.
yes.
I just couldn't reach it.
So we totally that was awesome.
How bad is it? Just thinking about it now. How bad of a throw is it when your disc is stuck in a tree and 125-foot pole won't reach? So you have to duct tape two poles together, two retrievers, to be able to reach the disc.
And that idea was pretty good because I think it got us maybe 35 or 40 feet worth of reach, and we got that disc back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But back to the lake. So lakes and water, you don't think you've ever permanently lost one?
No, I have lost one.
Okay.
I lost my MVP Open wave from my original Gyropalooza box in the lake at Rundle.
Gotcha.
At 12. But what I was going to say was, I don't remember the last time I threw a disc in the water.
Oh,
I haven't.
Let's not say that too loud.
Right.
We don't want disc golf karma to come back after this.
I think that might have been the last time that No, I've probably thrown one in at 16.
Okay.
But able to retrieve it. Maybe it just gone in off the edge of the bank, but yeah.
And what do we got in the comments? Dylan's got something there?
Yeah, people were just talking about that Dylan has 2 in the Leduc pond.
Oh.
Brendan saying that hole number 1 is pretty rough. He's lost a few at Leduc as well. We still yet to get out and play
there, but you know why I'd always been nervous was because of that lake. Because I think if I understand right, hole 1 actually starts where the lake is on your left-hand side, and you're teeing off, if I'm right.
I think it's on your right hand. Okay, carry on.
So I think it's on the left-hand side, and you're going out to the basket. So if you're going to do anything with a disc, what are you usually going to do? You might hyzer out, you might early release, and if you do, you're off into a lake.
If I'm not mistaken, because I spoke to Gabe about it, and we were talking about it, and Gabe said, a lot of people don't like it because of the water, but you're always throwing away from the water.
Oh, so then
I
should be a backhand.
I think the lake is on your right-hand side, and hole 1 is on the left-hand, like the southern part of the lake.
Oh, okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but Leduc, course. Hole number 1, water's on your right-hand side. Dylan says it's on the left-hand side. I don't know what I'm talking about.
There you go. Well, I will tell
Okay.
you though, I have lost a disc. There's only one that I can remember that was gone forever,
You're right.
unless I blocked other ones out, because sometimes it's so traumatic you don't even want to think about it,
Yeah.
and you probably forget about it. But mine was out in Athabasca, and I took my musket, which was, for a long time there, my trusty flyer. It was pretty straight. It was
Yeah.
getting me my most distance. It was from a Drayton Valley tournament. I got in a disc swap and had the stamp on it from the local uh, lawyer
Oh,
gentleman
yeah,
there. I had
yeah, I
one of
know that
those,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
blue one. And what happened was we were on one of those holes along the back where the water's on the side, the golf course
Oh,
holes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, 6 or 7, something like that.
yeah,
And I threw it to the right over the reeds, hoping it would come back. But
yeah,
when you grip lock it as bad as I did, it wasn't coming back. And that slough of a pond, well, that
yeah,
pond is just very deep and very
yeah,
dungy. And maybe if we go back this year, someone might have fished it out, because I know they do work hard to do that,
yeah.
but it won't be the same disc if it's been in there for a year.
Exactly. Well, if it's anything like the disc that you retrieved out of the river and let me have,
Oh, the
the
X-Cal,
X-Cal,
yeah.
for an X-Cal, and I throw it on forehand, it goes surprisingly dead straight.
Well, it was weathered in there.
Yeah.
It was in that
It's
river
not
for a
it's not
while.
as beefy as I would have thought an X-Cal would have been for my noodle arm, but
Yeah. Well, one of the things we were talking about tonight is that we were going to have a guest join us, a guest who's been on the show before.
yeah.
We haven't had a chance to speak to her in person in a while. So this is going to be a real treat for me. We've got FPO Canadian player from Victoria, BC,
Hmm.
Gabby Lee on the show.
Yeah. And when she's ready, Jeremy, we'll get to her.
All right, then that's what we'll do. We'll just let her get comfortable in the
Yeah.
green room there. That's one thing. You know what we haven't
Okay.
had is we haven't had any requests yet from our guests
Yeah.
in the green room. If do we need to put some more chocolates back there? Should there be
Yeah.
some beverages, some sparkling water? Like, what do we have to do to really make that green room bring it up a little bit?
Exactly. I think we need to put it. We'll put it in the survey at the end.
Yeah.
In the then they fill out the review form.
Well, I hope we don't get a bunch of riders start coming our way then, like the rock stars.
Exactly.
I need some marshmallows, but I only want them in this size.
Yeah.
They've got to be dipped half in chocolate.
Blue M&Ms.
Yeah, exactly.
Just we can get right to our guest, but I just want to say a lot of people are saying that, and I second this. You don't have one. You have one of the regular retrievers.
Yes.
But the max distance bowl retriever with the suction cups on the end,
Right.
like I've never regretted buying that. It is a little bit more expensive. I got the carbon fiber because I just hate the fact of pulling, a disc on the end of a fully extended aluminum pole. Like I had radio controlled cars when I was young, and those antennas always used to
they've
break,
been-
snap off. So I went with the carbon fiber. That thing, it's a little bit more expensive, but the amount of discs that I've saved, and not just mine, other people's and things like that, it's paid for itself time over. So definitely get one of those.
All
But
right.
you were saying, Jeremy.
I was saying that we were so excited to talk to someone we haven't talked to in a little while. The last time I saw this person was out at Nationals. You and I saw them at Falcons Flight.
Hmm.
One of our early guests, we'll get to that a little later.
Yeah.
Great Canadian FPO from Victoria, BC, Gabby Lee. Hey, Gabby.
That's
How,
nice to see you both.
how are you?
I'm well. Can you see me, hear me? Am I in the center of the screen?
Uh,
I think you're waiting to
go-
the center. You
go-
want to go the other way a little, but
Nope, the other way. It's always
This
always
way.
backwards. There you go.
It's always I know I do apologize. I'm on my phone today on my headset, so I'm hoping things are looking and sounding okay, but do just bug me if I need to adjust anything.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that Jeremy always says, that when we look back through our previous guests and things like that, the person that stepped it up and took it to the next level, you were framed so well when we were talking to you. Your audio quality was perfect, and your voice was just like butter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and no different today.
I think we mentioned it's kind of a classic line that people put out there, but after we talked to you the last time, we had said, I think Gabby could read the phone book and we'd be interested in listening. So.
Exactly.
haven't seen a phone book in forever. You know what? If I dig one out, we'll give it a try and we'll see what you think. But I don't think you'll.
For our younger listeners, the phone book
Yeah,
contained everybody's phone number.
Used to come in the mail. It would be
Yeah.
at your door.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, taking a look, Gabby, with the background, like you said, you're not in your usual home space. Are you in the van on the road right now?
I am. So yeah, I'm on my home away from home, so to speak. So I should have cleaned up before inviting you in, but it is a little messy right now. I will give you
Oh,
a tiny peek. Uh,
wow.
Okay.
we just had dinner, and we're settled at a little rest stop or a little vista near Kachuma Lake right now. So we have a tournament coming up there this weekend. So we're just we're this is home for the night.
Yeah.
Nice.
How have you been finding it? Obviously, you got the van last year, I think. Have you had to make any
Yeah.
tweaks to the van, and how are you adapting? How's it feeling for you?
Oh my gosh, now that you say that, I think we're like at our I think we maybe just passed our 1 year anniversary of owning the van,
Oh,
which is pretty wild to us because I mean the only tweaks we've made to it, we did buy it used and pre kind of set up with everything. We've added a fridge, we've added a little more battery power, and with that we're perfectly comfortable. Like it's
Yeah.
treating us so well. Um, of all the things that, I'd be nervous about on going on big trip, whether that's the tournaments and the locations or I don't know, anything, like being in the van is like the most comfortable part of it. I'm such a homebody in a way. So to have my home with me at all times is just like a great comfort.
nice.
Yeah.
And are you pretty comfortable? Like for me, in my past, I've always been a guy who's had a car or an SUV. And there's been a few times where I've had to drive a panel van or a big truck or something like that. And just my experience, I get a little nervous. I don't have my rear view mirror, that type of thing. Are the two of you, are you able to share the driving? Are you both of you comfortable with it at this point?
I'm a bit of a passenger princess at this point. Still has done like 100% of the driving at this point. I don't know if a lot of people know this about me, but I like only just got my driver's license like a few
Really?
months ago. So I've
Oh,
only just started learning to drive a car, which is a little wild. I've been on two wheels my whole life, bicycles, scooters. But since getting the van, it was like, okay, no, I should get comfortable, at least for like safety reasons. Just
yeah.
Yeah.
have a license and get comfortable with it. So I was hoping to do a little more driving before we left on the road, but I happened. But it's I don't know, like what Sylv will say is that it drives kind of like a truck almost. I think the hardest part, like you said, is just the rear view mirrors. The blind spots are a little different because we don't have windows on all sides anymore. So you really are relying on like the left and right mirrors,
Yeah.
and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
think with your license there now and having it, you probably are doing well by letting Sylvain kind of do the driving and such, because the last thing you want to do is try to learn down in California on some of those roads or down the coast, hey?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it's I would say we've had like I said, like some of the more stressful parts aren't being in the van, but like some of the driving that we've done, it hasn't been too bad. It was funny, like coming down to California, I'm like warm sun, lovely. And I think we got like fog, snow, rain, wind, like all the way down until we got to like Southern California. So we're good now. But yeah, some of the bigger cities are just a whole other beast. We're like looking at population of the cities that we're in while we're in them, and it's just so many more than in Victoria, BC.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that you had your van just about 1 year.
Mm.
Looking back through our episodes, do you know how long ago it was when we first spoke to Gabby?
Well, if
Well,
you're
you
if
know.
you're leading me well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, like, was it a year ago?
It
It
was
wasn't a year,
it
was
was
it?
almost a year. We look back, it was episode 28, and
Okay.
we're now on 73. That was back in May 25th last year.
Oh
Wow.
So
my gosh.
yeah, it doesn't seem like it's that long.
No, no, that's it seems like yesterday. Yeah, still one of my favorite podcast episodes I've done. I don't know. It's so great chatting with you both. So
Oh,
I
thank
can't
you.
believe it's been a year. I feel like so much has happened, but like nothing has happened. I don't know. It's one of those things. Like time is weird.
Yes. Yeah, and and when you say that too, it's like even at that point when we were starting out, we talk about this where it was just the two of us chatting about disc golf. What's it gonna be? We decided we'd have a guest on, and what did we do? We brought on one of our good buddies because we knew he'd go easy on us, even though he doesn't on the course, but he
Yeah.
does go easy on us with that. And then to have that and to be 73 episodes later, like when we actually say that number, like we always announce it at the beginning of an episode,
Yeah.
but when we say it now, it's a long time, man.
It is. It's one of those things that we always say, and we're proud
Mhm.
that we are, and as far as we know, we're the longest running weekly disc golf podcast.
Yeah, in Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Canada.
So
Congrats. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I want to do one more thing about the roads when you were saying going down to California. When I went and took the family down to Disneyland and first got on one of those big LA highways, the thing that amazed me most, I don't know if you've seen this, Daryl, but
Right.
what will happen is you'll be going and you see there's an exit ramp on the right-hand side, but there's so many lanes
Right.
that that's not enough. So they put an exit ramp on the left-hand side of that same highway,
Okay.
and it loops underneath, and the two of them will connect and
Oh.
then go into the next one. And I just had never seen things like that before. And then trying to navigate that when you're on the road, I'm like, my partner is saying, go left. I'm like, go left or go right? Go which one am I doing? And it really didn't matter. You'd end up in the same
Right.
spot if you
Yeah.
did it. But
I don't think we got to the depths of LA quite like you have. So I didn't witness any of that, but I'm always shocked at the merge lanes here. They're so short. Like they just like throw you out onto the highway. So we're like trying to get used to like how quickly cars will merge into us. But we're doing good. We're good, doing good. 100% track record so far. No
There you
dings, no
go.
scrapes.
well, and not having a chance, like we did get to see you. We were saying at Falcons Flight together, and then I got to see you out in Clearwater at Nationals, and it feels like we do get to see you because you're always posting great content, and we're checking that out, and there's always something out there to see. And one of the things we had noticed was, well, what did we do, Daryl? At the beginning of the year, we had a look back on how our year had gone and look back forward to my goals because I'm a goal guy. Daryl's not so much a goal guy, but both of us had wanted to kind of get into fighting shape. We wanted to lose a few pounds. We wanted to get a little bit more muscle. Hopefully, not have our backs sore after a 3-day weekend on the course, that type of
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
But then we got to see your posts, and it looked like you and Sil really leveled up with what you were doing in the off season. It seemed every time we looked, it was like kettlebells and lunges and squats. So tell us what your guys' plan was like.
Yeah, it was like we finished our like little mini tour in October and we took a good break from disc golf. Like I don't even think I touched a disc for like a month after my last tournament. And I was very intentional or very thoughtful to be like, okay, like this off season, I'm going to pay attention. It's going to be like a full body experience. It's going to be, it's not going to be disc golf. It's going to be increasing my strength and my baseline because I did feel at times like whether it was the ski hill at nationals or just some longer courses or even just like some of the injuries that I would come up with or my shoulder would bug me a bit, my back would bug me a bit, like what can I do to just kind of like increase my overall strength and maybe a bit of stamina. So my husband is actually a kettlebell instructor. So I have a really good at-home coach, which is good. So yeah, it was a lot of squats, kettlebell swings, deadlifts, just really simple movements, not easy movements, but just simple. I have a hard time. I don't know what it is. Like I have a hard time kind of designing a program for myself or finding a program. So just knowing that, I don't know, every day I could do a certain number of kettlebell swings or I could do some certain number of squats or try and do some pull-ups, like just easily add those things in or simply add those things in. I think it was yeah, that was my thought with the off season is just start building up my base. I will say kind of like a bit of a spoiler, it was great and I do feel good now. I wasn't able to continue it in the way that I'd hoped, in the sense that like I think I went a little too hard or a little too much because my elbow started bugging me. I was like trying to do pull-ups. So I kind of laid off some of the more strength-based work that coincided with the same muscles or the same joints that I was using for disc golf. So
Right.
I had these super high expectations or dreams that I was going to be like, yeah, I'm going to be like working out in the morning, disc golf training in the afternoon, and then like round in the evening. And then it's like, okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like 35. I can only handle so much. So it was super helpful, and I'm glad I did it. Like I do feel better now than I did last year, but
Right.
I wish I was a little more on top of it than I am right at this moment.
I mean, I don't know if you were doing it the same as way I do it, but that's always happens to me is that when I think, okay, I need to get fit, I need to get into it, I'll start, and in my mind, I'll say, okay, I just need to go down and walk on the treadmill. I don't need
Right.
to run a marathon. I just get on there and walk, and then I'll walk for a day, and then the next day I'm like, okay, let's do 5K, and then let's go, and then I push myself too far, and then I injure myself, and then I stop for 2 weeks,
Oh no.
and then after 2 or 3 weeks, then after a month, I'm like, okay, I just need to get on there and walk, and I just never. It's doing that. It's getting mentally to say, take it gradually and build up over time. It's not a you're not going to get fit overnight.
The
It
less
needs
is
to be
more.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Less is more, but that's where
Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel the
same. I used to do like just for fun, like I didn't really compete, but I did like powerlifting beforehand. Like before I got into disc golf or anything, I was like a bit of a gym goer. Like I just went and strength trained.
yeah.
So it's hard to like I stopped for quite a while, like basically over the pandemic and then when disc golf kind of took over that free time. It's hard to start again. And it's hard to be like, no, 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 just use like 10 pounds when
Yeah.
in the back of my mind, I'm like, no, 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 I used to be able to do way more than this. Like, just do it, just do it. And then you get hurt. So no, I feel that deeply.
Yeah.
There you go.
And long time ago, I did go to a gym and I got a personal trainer. And one thing that he said to me, and I kind of twist it a bit now when I throw discs. One thing he said to me was, it takes a big man to lift little weights.
Right.
To admit that you're, only 10, 15. You see all the big gym rats and all that, they're lifting the 80s and whatever else. And you're standing there with 10 or 15 and you think, well, I can lift more than this. But so now when I'm on the disc golf course, I say it takes a big man to throw lower speed discs. We don't all need destroyers and excals and all these big super fast drivers. Like
That
we
too,
just
or to lay up, or yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to run it all. I need that lesson
exactly
over and over again for sure.
Yeah.
disc golf and mental game. We're on everything, Jeremy.
Well, and I was wondering too with this, Gabby, when I was looking at that, one of the videos I remembered in particular, I think Sophia had joined you out there. And then I wondered, was it just one workout and that did that scare her off? Because I don't think I saw her in another video after that.
Um, no, I mean like Sophia has her way, like she trains, like her and
Yeah.
Brett both train but I think they just train differently. Like Sophia, she's riding her bike, she's running, they do the gym as well. And I think not that we didn't scare her off because Sophia was 100% capable of what we were doing.
Yeah.
It was just different. And of course it was like outdoor in the park, so then it starts to rain and then I don't know. It's nothing to do with the type of workout. Sophia kicked both of our butts, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. It would have to be a really big, strong workout to scare Sophia off, I think.
I think
She's
so.
not one to shy away from a bit of exercise.
Yeah, there you go.
No, 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 no. Gosh. I think the best round she's played, she's like done a 10K run or like bike ride before the round. I don't know. She's
Of course, of
amazing.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then I guess
While writing her PhD.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, in your season, like our season is just kind of starting. We had one winter round and we got that done, the Tundra Toss. I played it. You were kind of volunteering, but we played a bunch there. But we really haven't gotten
Yeah.
into our tournament season. But looking at your PDGA, it looks like you've already gotten in. You've started, you've played a few tournaments. How are you feeling then now that we've determined that there was some working out, there was some recovery, there was all of that? Do you feel that the start of the year you're in a better place than maybe you were last year?
Uh, well, I'm in a different place than I was last year. I don't know. Like I said, like after October, I do feel like I don't know, I was tired. And so I took a break and I had committed to myself at that time. I'm not going to compete until the new year. I'm going to take that time to like work out, work on my form, train, like do the other things off the course
Right.
and outside of PDGA rounds. And then January came, February came, March came, and then I finally played my first PDGA event. And I was so nervous, and I still feel like there's nerves in there to kind of get back into competing. Um, I'm finding on the course right now where while the skills are there, like I feel very capable. Um, the mental game isn't quite there yet. What I've been telling myself is I'm an anxious mind inside of a capable body, and it's trying to connect the two, or at least convince the mind that I'm in that capable body and able to do what I'm doing. So I played in March locally in the NIMO. It was the only FPO player. I was like, perfect. It's going to be great. It's just me. I don't have to worry about anything but myself. And it just poured the whole weekend. And I was like,
Oh no.
okay, maybe not the best first experience to kind of set my baseline.
Yeah.
And then the next event was in California. We played at the St. Patrick's Classic, just outside of Sacramento at the Shady Oaks Disc Golf Course. And it was a ton of fun. Weather was beautiful, so I was like, okay, no rain excuses here. And yeah, like practice rounds are good, putting offs outside of the event is good, but yeah, I'm struggling a bit with just confidence on the course right now. So that was a theme with that event. It was a theme with the event that I just played last weekend at the Daniel Boone Memorial. Yeah, I'm just feeling a little shaky, and
Okay.
it's tough to convince myself that it's like it is part of the process, and it's just
Yeah.
something I'm have to get back into. Like I played a 920-ish rated round as my last round at the tournament I just played, so it's like I'm on the right track. I'm feeling good, but it's yeah, I didn't think it would take this long to get back into it. So I'm kind of like, I'm feeling that impatience to be like, okay, well, no, you got this. Like,
Yeah.
so if I make a mistake, I'm like, okay, next one, like I'll fix it this time, and I don't fix it. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll fix it next time. Um, so yeah, it's been great. Like it truly has been. I'm having a ton of fun. But yeah, like frustration builds, emotions build. I had a good cry after round, I think 2, and I think before round 3, and just it builds up. Like despite all the fun I'm having, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, that's the one thing in just talking and listening to you right now. That's one of the things I remembered is that you're so self-aware when it comes to those things. As some people might be out there and they'll be kicking their bags or throwing their discs in the lake, or like we were just talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
just doing those types of things, or giving up on themselves and that. But it feels like that's where maybe you're a few steps ahead, because you probably are really, am I right in saying you're really in the moment and you kind of know where you're at, and then it's just a question of how to make the adjustments and be kind to yourself at the same time while you're doing it?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like while my last round wasn't, exactly where I want to be still, like there's still lots of missed putts, but kind of given how I'm feeling and where I'm at, I know what to kind of accept as like, okay, this is good for me right now. This is good for the mental state I'm in, physical state I'm in. Um, and then yeah, I just kind of take it from there. And there's, I had something I wanted to say on that, but it's, yeah, I think feeling or just being like internalizing a little bit, maybe a little bit too much at times is helpful, because there's less comparison with what others are doing, and it's the tough part is just the comparison with myself, but making sure I'm not comparing it too harshly against what,
Right.
my triple A game is versus what my tournament game is versus what my, I don't know, sick, hungry, tired, exhausted game is. So like, there's a whole spectrum
Yeah.
of like where I can be. Um, and, I may not be at the top of that right now. And it's just a matter of finding ways to get myself to the best that I can be given the circumstances, whatever that may be, mental, physical,
Yeah.
location, weather. Um, so yeah, I can't be too harsh on myself. I will cry. I will let it out, but it's never in like pure sadness. It's just like a lot of feelings sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just let the
It,
emotion
Yeah.
out, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's so um intriguing listening to Gabby's mindset of, comparing herself to that, when she has a bad putt or whatever, she knows that she can fix it. That's not who you are, or where you can play. Whereas when we go out and play, our mindset, if we have a bad round, it was like, oh, we had a bad round. I sucked today. I need to work on that a bit more. Like it,
But we're not as
we're,
fine-tuned, are
no,
we?
exactly.
Yeah.
We're not as fine tuned. We don't have that level, just hearing you say that you can do better, and maybe you're not comparing yourself to that AAA game all the time, but it's there, it's achievable. And when you don't play that well, it does hurt you. It frustrates you and things like that. Whereas when we play bad, we just it's like water off a duck's back because we know we're not at that level.
Yeah.
We're expecting it almost.
Well, maybe not quite water off a duck's back. We were out on the weekend, Gabby, and Daryl has had two record rounds in a row at one of our courses at Rundle Park. And then I put out, I was 10 strokes away from him. And he was like, "What can I do to help you? Do you need me to tell you not to rip it hard? Do you need me? What do you need me to do?"
That makes me sound so condescending. I
No,
wasn't.
no, no. It
I
was in
didn't.
a very positive way, a very
Yeah.
positive way.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
wasn't. Yeah.
no, no, it was good. He was because he was actually concerned. He wasn't just focused on what was going on, but it was
Help
one.
me to help you suck less.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Aw,
No, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, but I guess the point
no,
is,
no, no.
I think we're still at that point where we'll have a bad round and we'll look at it like you said, and we'll not know exactly what went wrong. But I think usually for me, what it is that I birdied a hole that we rarely ever birdie in 16.
Yeah.
And so then I take that one and I hold on to that and I say, let's keep
Yeah.
that as my memory from this round because I can build on that memory, but I can't build on the double bogey of frustration I did on the 18th hole. That's not going to help me. So I try to push that away and then look at the two or three good moments that I had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always good moments out there, and there's always bad moments too. So it's like you get to choose what you, well, maybe not choose what you remember, but you get to choose, what your favorites are and what you learn from the not so favorites. And
Yeah.
I mean, easier said than done, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, I love that point.
Always good to focus on the positive, not the negative.
Yeah, it just made me think of an idea there. We've got our disc golf bags, but if you've got a disc golf memories bag that you're also carrying on your back, maybe you got to choose which discs you put into that one, which would be which memories, right? So
That sounds like
hole
a
16.
that sounds like a t-shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
I love that. I love that because we're all carrying that extra bag on our back. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, do you keep it light? Do you keep it heavy? What do you keep it heavy with?
Yeah.
Or do you just kind of let everything out and maybe leave the bag behind for a second?
And the last one I'm going to throw into that. So
Yeah.
that double bogey hole that I took, if I have that disc in
Yeah.
that backpack, that one should be coming out on the 500-foot water carry because I know exactly where I can leave that one.
Time out. Time out.
Let's go. Oh.
Oh gosh.
Well, and Gabby, so that was kind of the start of your season. And when we looked at the PDGA setup, Daryl and I in our upcoming events, what do we got? 1, 2, maybe 4,
Yeah.
something like that. But
Yeah.
it looks like you are jam-packed right up until the end of July or so. There's a lot of events. It looks like you're going to be in the States for quite a bit, and you've got some back up in Canada. Is there any specific tournaments that you're really looking forward to?
Ooh, so let's see. After this weekend we play, it was a bit of a last minute one, but I'm signed up for Champions Cup is the next big one at the start of May, which for me, I'll be going for the experience. It's a big course. It's a major. I got in purely because I was there at the right time, refreshing, and clicked register.
Yeah.
But it was like I'm in the area. If I can get into it, why not play it? So I think it'll just be a fun experience. After that, I'm actually really excited for the Masters Cup at De La Viega.
Right.
We got to play that course for fun last year, so to be able to compete on it, I think will be a lot of fun. I can't think of any other word for it. It's a neat course. Like it's the type of disc golf I like to play. It's semi-wooded. The greens are tough, so I gotta work myself up to that. But yeah, Vegas is gonna be neat. I just hear nothing but great things about the Vegas course. And then yeah, what was the last one? Another A tier around Sacramento. And then, yeah, I think the only reason I'm not signed up for anything beyond July right now is registration isn't open. But really looking forward to the Canadian tournaments that we have. So like BC Open, TCO, uh, getting out to Harvest Huck again. Falcons Flight, of course. Like,
Yes.
yeah, this is a lot of fun right now, but I have so many good memories of the trip that we did around BC and Alberta last year that I'm so excited for that portion of the year again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was one of the questions that we had, that we could see you booked out so far, but we wanted to make sure that we would have a chance to catch up with you again at Falcons.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't think if it's up to me, I'm never missing that tournament. It's one of my favorites.
Well, and for us last year, we had been doing the podcast and such. We had heard so much of the storied history on it, and just pulling up to the gate and driving in, and you can almost feel the sense of community in that. And then we were like, this is a lot of hype. At some points, we are like, is this really just a lot of hype? You know, how can a tournament be anything like that? And then when we went last year, I think we came home leaving going, yeah, we're going next year.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. We realized that it wasn't just hype. It is actually event. There's a reason why it fills up in, I think, 60 seconds last year.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
And that was us going out without Rudy being there.
yes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's an interesting thing, like coming in, like being for myself, like newer to the disc golf community, to be able to just like be so fortunate to step into these already, you know, super strong communities. Like I feel very, very fortunate for that. And yeah, it's just there's so much love in that place, and it's worth the hype. Like if in short, like it is everything that people say it is.
Yeah. And it's not just the community. It's not just the after, like we said before, it's a disc golf not we want to say vacation, but it's a destination. You go there, you're going there to play the tournament, you're playing on two great courses. So that's a benefit in its own, that you get to play on two different courses on the same property. But then after the rounds are done, you're not going back to the hotel, some people do or whatever, but there is that community. There's fires, there's two sets of fires, there's the long drive competition, there's everything that's going on. It's more than just a disc golf tournament. We don't want to say it. I know we've heard it be named as like the Mecca for Western Canadian disc golf, but I mean it really draws everybody to it.
It does, for sure.
Mhm.
So no, that'll be good. Well, yeah,
It is all that.
and we'll be excited to see you there. And it's also too, the other thing we had noticed, because last year we did our A-tier fantasy recap shows where we talked to the FPO and the MPO winners, talked to the tournament director, we chatted and made our picks before each of them.
Yeah.
And we were looking this year, there's 14 A-tiers, and one of the ones, like you had said with BC Open, is they've gotten so big, which is awesome to see, that they split that tournament into 2 weekends now, where you have an amateur tournament and then you've got a pro tournament. And just, to me, it's just amazing to have a tournament that size, and especially in Canada on the pro side, that you have so many pros that you can fill up a whole tournament weekend, which I think is just, that's going to be an experience this year for sure.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm fairly certain we're only playing Raptors if that's the case, but I don't know yet. But nope, that'll be neat to experience as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, another thing, Gabby, was Daryl and I were very excited at the start of the year. We got selected to be a part of the Cardinal Crimson team. And then, just by happenstance, wasn't it, Daryl?
This was such a funny period in our sponsorship.
Yeah, so we ended up finding out, we were just searching on the website and such.
Yeah.
And we
Well,
had,
you were.
well, I was, and then I had saw that your name was there, and then Daryl will tell you, but it was almost like he had to get a muzzle or something on me, because I was going to steal your thunder, because I'm like, Gabby's on the team too. Gabby's on the team.
We got to let everybody know Gabby's on the team, and I'm like, no,
Oh.
She'll want to announce it herself. Wait. Well, okay, let's say there's an FPO that we know that's on the team, and I'm like, no. How about we say there's an FPO that was on the team that's also been on the podcast?
He was like, stay quiet,
Just don't say anything.
Let Gabby release it when they're ready.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was yeah, no, timing was such a funny one on that one. And like for, reasons outside of Cardinal too, like partially just me getting organized to announce things. And yeah, no. And I'll always remember that message that we sent each other, like,
I think it comes down to the fact that this was our real first big sponsor.
Yeah.
And we got notified, I think it was like late November, sometime in November, that we were going to be on the team for the 2025 season.
Yeah.
And like little school children, I went straight to social media. We're going to be on the team, even though it hadn't, really we shouldn't have been announcing it until 2025.
Yeah, we wanted to take some advice from the pro here.
Exactly.
And we need some media.
Settle down, calm down, announce it when it's time.
So
no, you did it all right. The excitement is so worth it, and so deserved too. Like, what great spokespeople they have on that team now. I was so excited to see you both on there.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we had, and of course, this, what we realized too as we looked at what Crimson is doing, and with Lane being part of it, we had him on the show not too long ago. There is that they really are picking some great Canadian players, and Miguel's on there another year. They've got you on there. We've talked to Mason Howard before. He's a young up and comer out in the Cranbrook area, and he's on the team. But what we were quite excited to see is not only are you on the team, you've got your own jersey. How cool is that?
So cool. It's like it was so surreal. I'm not wearing it, but I have it with me.
Yeah,
I
you
have to be
gotta
very
have
careful with my laundry.
it.
Um, and like just very surreal. Like the process of working with Lane and team to, decide what it was going to look like. It was just, it's what I really enjoy about the Cardinal team is it's very player focused, right? Like, so when it comes to the support or like the reason they have everything that they have is like it's all just going back to our players. Like how can we get our players out there? They're so great with sharing everyone's successes, posts on social media, and then with building this jersey too. It was like, well, I'm like, what do you think? And they're like, well, what do you want?
Oh,
And it was a very cool experience, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I've seen
Yeah.
a few of them in the wild, like on social media. But yeah, no, it feels very special, and to be like wearing it as well feels incredibly special. Like I think I need to buy like 3 more just so I can only wear it on tournament weekends. But like I feel good in a like look good, feel good, play good kind of thing. I wore this
Yeah.
on my best rated round on the weekend, so
oh, there you
There
go.
you go.
maybe there's something to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm thrilled. I'm beyond thrilled, and again, it just still feels a little surreal.
Yeah. And going back to beginner mistakes,
Doing things too soon.
yeah, taking baby steps. We were announced that we were on the team, and they sent us our discount code that we got to use for
Oh,
our part being part of it. Right away, we jumped on the website. We were like, we want this one, that one, that one. We got all our jerseys prior to the fact that the 2025 season team would be announced and that all these new jerseys would come out. So we kind of jumped on the bandwagon a bit too soon on that one.
Yeah.
it's okay. I did the same too. I did the same too. But hey, first year on the team, right? Like,
You live and learn, that's for sure.
Exactly.
yes,
But I
yes.
think, once we saw your jersey come out and we saw how awesome it looked, and then we saw what Miguel's looks like this year as well,
Yeah,
I think Daryl and I may be putting in a second order at some point this year.
I think so.
Aw, yeah. Aw, thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's I don't. Yeah, it's one of those funny things. Like with like the discs I'm selling, the jerseys I have, like I never like expect or like even want people to like feel like they have to go out and buy things. Like just I don't know, the shared excitement, sharing that it's even available is like I don't know, it means the world to me, and it's like I said, just like the shared excitement for it is all I can ask
Yeah.
for, and it's yeah, I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
So just going back to the jersey, you said you had a hand in designing it and things like that. What made you pick the color scheme? Are any of them special to you?
Um, I've been really into I really like blues and teals. Um, and when trying to figure out like the colors, I did want it to pop a little bit, and I wanted it to be a little bit different than what I'd seen on the website already. Um, okay, I could kind of see what other people were doing as well. So I was like, okay, how can I be a little different but also true to me and like what I would want to wear. So yeah, no, like the dark green, the teal is I don't know, I just like the colors. The yellow just felt like it popped nicely.
Yeah.
I like color. I also looked at like bright pinks and blues and purples and all that, but there's a little bit of like, okay, what do I like? But also what do I feel like others may like? While also leaning like staying true to like the brighter poppier colors because there's some slick jerseys there like the
Yeah.
any of like the black jerseys with any of those details I love like reds and golds I love so like there were some colors that I would have also picked for myself but others were doing that so
Yeah.
I wanted to do something that was unique to me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thank
Well, and what
you.
we should say, this is probably the greatest time to plug it as well, is I'm sure that you've probably got a code as well if people go and check out on Cardinal. Do you have one that they've give you?
I do. Gabby. Gabby. Super simple. Gabby will get you 10% off the website, off my jersey as well. So using my code helps me. Purchasing my jersey does help me on the tour as well. So, or my version of my tour.
Yeah.
So yeah, grab a
That's good.
jersey, grab a hat. Other hats are great as well.
Yeah,
If
we
you're
got that
not looking to
going
drop.
right now. Yeah.
I know they look great. I had like another hat that I like left at home. So I have a bright pink one. Where is it? It's actually right here. Um,
Oh, that's a
Nice.
that
good
I've
one.
been
Yeah.
sporting quite a bit. So
Yeah.
it's the dad hat, which I do quite like
Yeah.
a bit. And I had a black one. I left it at home. So you'll be seeing that later on in the season.
Nice.
There you go.
Well, and it's not only with Cardinal, you're with MVP again this year as well. And that's awesome
Yep.
to be back with them. And one of the things I wanted to ask you about that was, um, has there been any discs this year that have either moved up in rotation and gotten a little more popular in your bag, or is there any new discs you've added so far?
Yes, yes. So it's still like on my like list to do. Like I really want to do it in the bag because last year I leaned on, I don't know, I had craves, insanities, waves, found my bag to be quite understable.
Okay.
So I would say there's like two discs that I've added to my bag so far that have done me real good. One is the reactor. So like nothing crazy exciting or new. Like obviously I should have a reactor in my bag. Um, so that stable mid has been helpful, but I've also added a servo to my bag. So
Okay.
instead of saying to myself, like, oh, I'm just going to grab my stable crave or my stable relay, like I've just added the actual stable version of that
Right.
disc into my bag, which I've really liked. Like it has a great push with the fade that I'd hope a stable version of a crave or relay would have. So those two are the main ones, but I've also added a glow crave to my bag. So again, just still like a stabler crave, but
Yeah.
I do find the glow plastic to be stabler. It's also heavier than my other ones. So using that for like a more pushing hyzer or something that I can trust a little more in a headwind.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've so Daryl has a lot. He's more of an Innova thrower for the most part. He's had a bunch of Gyropalooza boxes over the
Oh yeah.
years and stuff too. So he's had a number of throwing. Yeah. Oh yeah. And and with myself, my bag is majority MVP and Axiom is what it is now. But like I've added a trail into my bag that I really love. It kind of gives me this distance that I didn't think I could get a lot. When I saw Jeremy Colleen joining the team and I saw his tempos come out, I needed one of those Dragonfly tempos, so I had that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
going back to last year, one of the discs I put in my bag was a Gabby Lee Detour with the nice bunnies on it and your signature on it, which everyone says, "Oh, put
Makes it
that
more
up."
special.
Yeah. And people would say, "Oh, put that behind you and hang it on the wall." But the thing I say, and I put that out there a few times, should you throw it or should you hang it on the wall? I'm like, Gabby signed this. So now I know that when I throw this, I got Gabby backing me
There you
when
go.
this thing goes out there.
Yeah.
So I took it out to nationals, and I'm telling you, it was a staple in my bag on the ski hill, on the golf course as well. It's just such a great disc. And as I'm rambling on here, my question that's actually in there is, are we going to see some new discs for you this year?
I am working on it. I would like to. I'm conscious of just I guess I should say cost of how things will go with just like bringing them across the border and
Right.
tariffs. So I'm mindful of that, but I am talking to Double Ram Discs, Mike Rabanascus, for a new design. Um, because I would love to. I would love to. Like the range is the disc that I've added to my bag. Like if I could get ranges, tempos, there's a whole bunch of discs that I would love to be able to get. It will depend on what's available at the time that I order. But if my like little inner schedule is on track, I would love to have discs with me and ready to sell when I'm heading out around Canada or like around BC, Alberta. So for like July, August type thing.
Nice.
Yeah. One
Hmm.
that is where we kind of differ is that I support Canadian disc golfers. We get their discs. I ask them very kindly to sign them. They never want to sign them because they think they're defacing the disc or something.
Which
But
I don't understand.
no, exactly. But I get their discs. I put them on the little shelf behind me. But from your point of view, when you take this disc with a nice signature on it, when it's got Gabby's signature on it,
Yeah.
and you throw it and you lose it, then when someone finds it, do they just say, "Oh, this is Gabby's disc," and they just return it to her because it's got her name on it?
It's got her name and PGGA number, right?
Exactly. It must
I
be Gabby.
haven't seen any discs come back to me yet. So
Yeah.
who knows though? Maybe one day. You've done a good job of not losing them. That's what I'll say. No one's lost a Gabby Lee disc yet because I haven't seen any come back to me.
They just don't go in the water. They avoid it.
Exactly.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bunnies don't like water.
There you go. Well, Gabby,
But yeah, I will keep you posted though with once they become available or for timelines. You'll be the
yes.
first to know.
Yeah, and there's pretty much, at least on my side of it, Daryl will probably take any one of them because it'll look perfect right behind you here, right?
Yeah. I feel kind of ashamed to say now, but I think you're probably one of the only people I don't have.
Yeah, so we'll have to get one
Yeah,
that
I
way.
think I have to get one. I'm sorry. Jeremy.
No, it's not an apology. I have to apologize. Don't worry, I'll get one in your hands.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't mind supporting Canadians. I'll buy the disc, I'll buy the jerseys, I'll buy the goat towels, I'll buy whatever to support you. But from when we look at it from the podcast side of it, is Chantel might have a new disc coming out. Well, I'll buy that one.
Yeah.
Gabby's got a new disc coming out. You throw MVP, you like detours, you'll buy that one.
Yeah.
So we kind of
Right.
share a little bit. So it's not that I'm excluding you. It's that I know that you're
No.
going to get covered. You're getting covered from this side of the podcast. So we do like to support you any way we can.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. No, didn't never want to make you feel bad for that. It's more just like, oh, get one in your hands. I want to.
We'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and with that too, Gabby, so that kind of covers two of your main major sponsors. Are you sponsored by anyone else this year that we should maybe shout out before we kind of wrap up with you?
Yeah, I want to shout out Dylan with Death Pet Disc Guys. He's based out of Cranbrook, BC. I met him while traveling last year in BC. It was so fun. I played a tournament with his son. It was one of those instances of being the only FPO player, and I was put with a couple of the juniors and just had like the best time. And got to meet his dad Dylan afterwards, and got to admire his dies, and it was just like a natural connection that was just like, hey, like, do you want some dies? And I'd be like, yeah, and I'll show them off for you. So I wish I had them with me in front of me. They're in the back of the van right now, but he's just done some beautiful dies for me. My main tempo, I have a Silly Goose Hex Crave. He's done like a cardinal die for me. So if anyone's looking for like custom dies, whether it's like just super colorful cell dies or like stencil dies, Dylan at Death Fest Disc Dies is he's fantastic and so lovely.
That's awesome.
And then I do have one more sponsor too, Tombstone Disc Supply, and then I'm a retailer. If you do look on their website right now, I do have some discs available there. They've been wonderful to me. They're local, and yeah, all proceeds from those discs goes to me, which I'm extremely grateful for. So I should have some lighter insanities, glow proxies, craves, and envies, if any of those interest you.
Nice. All good discs for sure.
Yeah. And you can use my code Gabby, just trying to keep it simple, on Tombstone Disc Supply, again for a 10% discount included on my discs. So go check it out.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's good to know.
Well, Gabby, we could have probably kept you we said about 30 minutes. We're already well past that. Thanks for being so gracious with your time. But every time we talk to you, we could be talking to you all night. So thanks so much for joining us.
I feel the same.
Thank you for taking the time.
Me. Yeah. Anytime. Yeah. Hope to see you in person soon.
Well, we will. Yeah, we'll catch up with you. We're both looking to be at Falcons, and I'm sure it'll happen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Daryl, I'm always excited talking to Gabby. She's just such one of the kindest people that I think in disc golf I've met. There's a lot of great people. Like we talk about Alex Penny being the nicest guy in disc golf. Totally true. Just Gabby's so kind and genuine. And I think you know that. You spend enough time with me. I'm always excited to talk to her.
Yeah, no, it's so awesome. And you know, throwing it back over to me again, technical side. We've had people at home in offices that don't sound and look as good as what Gabby did there. She's in a van, parked on, in a lay-by or in a park turnout, whatever it was, sounding awesome.
Yeah,
Like you said before, we could just listen to her for days.
that's it for sure. Well, I'm excited. We'll see her. I'm gonna go check out Tombstone and I'll see what she's got. I think I might need another disc in my bag.
Sure, you could make room.
Yeah, there's a spot for it.
Yeah.
So for sure. Well, what I thought we should talk about is we put out some content over the weekend
We did.
and we had gotten a mail call again. And
Yeah.
I didn't, were you expecting that mail call?
Kind of and kind of not. So I did get an email from this company. You
Yeah.
should say that we got a mail call from Discape Discs
Yes.
saying discs are on the way.
And then because you're
But this email chain and thread was the Edmonton Disc Golf Association thread
Yeah.
in regards to
the Great Disc,
the Great Discape presented by Edgar that we're running in a month's time.
yeah,
So
and
there's still time to sign up.
I
If
think
you
I know
haven't.
the tournament director,
He's some guy.
some guy, some amazing co-host slash technical wizard slash tournament director.
So I wasn't too sure if, but I haven't actually paid for the disc yet, the tournament. So
Oh, okay.
you know, I wondered. I was like, maybe. So every night I'm coming home, or I'm looking at my step on my front step to see if there may be a big box of discs there waiting for me.
Yeah, for the tournament.
Yeah, but I checked the mail, and we got a mail call. So I presume this was the mail call that we were going to get,
Yeah.
or the. So we got these lovely boxes from Discape, and like Jeremy said, if you checked our social media, you would see that we put out a post of us throwing these lovely discs at Hermitage Rundle Park.
And I just thought maybe what we could do is just kind of give a little closer shot on the podcast. We might have to do a little bit of work for the audio portion to let people know what we're showing them.
Yeah,
But it was kind of when Ned was on the podcast from Discape and he was talking with us, he told us a lot about how there was brand new putters coming out. They were getting new plastics. Like they're really just starting to gather some steam as a Canadian disc golf company.
yeah,
And that was part of the reason too that you wanted to participate in the Great Discape for your first tournament event.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 5 new putters. We got 4 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe we got 3 of them. The first one that I got, and I'm going to try and work my magic, because if I do this, there you go. Look at that. I can even zoom.
Ooh, you zoomed in.
This one is called the Boulder Bane 2-4-1-1.
And what did you think when you threw that one? Do you remember? I
I
know we threw all 3, so it might be hard to remember them
Yeah,
specific.
no, exactly -1-1. I remember had a little bit of turn, a little bit of fade, but pretty much a dead straight putter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then one of the ones I got was actually a repeat of what was already released, and it was an aquarium, but it had a kind of cool new stamp on it with this sea monster, where the other aquariums seem nice and friendly. This one seems like he's out to get some chains.
Yeah. What do you think of that? I know you've thrown the aquarium before.
Yeah, well,
I think that's in the new Ventus plastic.
yes, and it's a 3301. I felt it was pretty good. Like 3301, that's almost really close to my EB7 putter, which is a 3401.
Right.
So I didn't try putting with it yet. I just tried throwing, but it does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And there are some videos I still have of my other aquarium from Mexico that are going to come out.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Another one that I got was the Glacierus 2302. And when I threw it, it was exactly 2302. It kind of went dead straight.
Yeah.
A little bit of fade at the end. Exactly what I would expect from a. I don't really throw throwing putters too much. I guess my throwing putter would be my Rhino.
Yeah.
But I don't know anybody who putts with Rhinos. But
Well, I think it was pretty amazing that we were out throwing hole 2 at Rundle, and normally we'll throw mids and we'll throw fairways,
yeah,
and then we were able to throw putters, and we were able to I parked one of them, and
Yeah.
then this one wasn't too bad either. This is the Root Theon that came out. It's also a 3301, but I'm wondering if it's just a little bit different shape on the disc, and I think it is. It looks like it has a little bead on the bottom of it, whereas the aquarium does not.
Yeah,
right?
I
So
think that
doesn't
could
have
be it.
So that's the main thing there. But both of these were
Oh.
pretty straight flyers. They were 2 of my closest ones that went to the basket on those throws.
Yeah. And then I got another disc that is not one of the new putters, but it's actually one of the existing molds. It's the Draconics in one of their new Faro plastics. So it's the new see-through, kind of like the Champ plastic, if you're familiar with that type of plastic.
Yeah.
But the Draconics 9.6, 9.6, 9.5, 9.5 minus 2.1. So a great beginner disc, bit understable.
Yeah.
Holds that nice S flight.
Yeah.
It was a little bit hard to throw it on hole 2 because hole 2 is not the hole that you're going to throw a 9 speed on.
Right. Well, and the other thing with this one is they kind of did a little bit different with the print on it. Hey, you've got kind of two colors, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a dual stamp.
On the
It's got
stamp, yeah.
the green and the red, yeah.
And then
Or
I
the
got
gold.
my last one was one of the putters, and it was the Dark Might, and I'm really loving the sorry, I'll move that to the middle. Really loving the design on this one. It kind of a hooded character, big claws, almost feels like one of the guys of one of the wraiths, the ring wraiths
Yeah.
in Lord of the Rings. But this one's a 4402, and it's got a thumb groove on the top.
Yeah.
So that's a different feel to it. But what I really did notice is this one flew a lot more like further. It glided a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say there. Glided, and it does have a bit of a dome to it. And yeah, it's good. I think this one's going to have a spot because I do like the way your thumb settles in that. I didn't know if I would like that,
Right.
but it feels pretty good. So.
I mentioned that to you, that for having like that 4-speed, that 4402 is almost like a zone, maybe not as overstable as a zone,
Right.
but having that thumb track that I used to like in my birds. And
well, and you have that on the Rhino too, right? And that's another disc that you like. The Rhino has a bit of that.
It has more of a ridge around the
but
that has
track.
not a thumb track. Yeah, that has that nice curved, that like the grooved recess as opposed to a ridge or a lip around the outside. But the bird has that thumb track, has that little bit of deviation on the outside rim. And I did, when we went to the Alberga tournament, I did throw the bird, and I didn't mind throwing the bird at full power.
Right.
But I don't think I would throw I wouldn't throw my zeros
at full power.
I've tried to throw an arrow. I've tried to throw aviars. They just don't come out right.
Gotcha.
So I'd be interested to see how that Dark Might flies.
Well, maybe with our next video, because we threw each of those discs, but you threw yours, I threw mine. Maybe we should put out one more video and we'll throw the other person's.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll go back out.
Yeah. When I got the mail call, I was like, should we open them on the weekend or should we open them now? And Jeremy's like, open them now.
Just open them right away.
I want to see what it is. When I was opening them, you were at work. I cut the tape so that it would make it easier to record. And I said, do you want left or right? You didn't answer, so I gave you left. And that was your box.
That was my box.
And I mean, by no means, we've got a few Discape discs now. So if you want to interchange and swap, we always have them on us.
Oh yeah, if you want to try any of these out, yes, for sure. And I guess what we should say too is thanks to Ned and the whole Discape team for thinking of us and sending those out our way. And I think you should plug the Great Discape one more time, because where are you at for registrations?
Yeah, as of last check, and I've been told, Brock has said this to me before, don't get too discouraged. It doesn't sell, it's going to fill up closer to the event. Give it time. Oh, but there you go. I've got a few more. So I was sitting at 19 was my last check. 19, and I've got 50 discs coming.
50 sets.
50 sets of discs. So when it was sitting at 19, and we're getting closer to the date. It's May 10th. Getting maybe a little bit nervous, but now we're at 21, so we're almost halfway.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So go check Disc Golf Scene, the Great Discape, presented by Edgar. It's my first tournament, my first TDing of the tournament. People have said at Edgar, they've said that they'll help out prior to the day, but unfortunately they're busy on the day.
Okay.
So at the moment, from Tournament Central type thing, I don't have any help. I know you've obviously offered, Sonia's offered. I'm sure anybody that is willing to lend a hand will help me out. I just keep going back to what Casey said a few weeks ago. As long as I've got the discs and I get the discs in people's hands, it's going to be a good event.
Yes. And I don't know if Discape's going to give you any extra discs to give away.
Yeah.
But, with these ones that we've been given, I always feel like I'm always so happy to be given these discs, but I always want to give back to the listeners as well.
Right.
So maybe if the listeners want or something like that,
You know-
one of these discs that's been lightly thrown could maybe make it into there too if somebody wanted. I don't know
Well,
if people would like that, but
You know what I think? You know what I think?
no, I'm waiting to hear.
Um, that I think one or two, or one from each set
Yes.
should maybe make it into the next prize bag
Oh,
for the
sure.
500 subscriber. We'll add one of these discs just to keep that stockpile growing.
Yes. Well, why don't we do
And
this?
also,
Oh,
okay,
I was going to say, why don't we do one more video
Yeah.
where we both throw the other discs
Yeah.
so we can get that done again. And then through those videos, we can have our listeners choose which 2 discs should go in the next giveaway.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's the aquarium they want, cool. If they want that awesome looking dark mite, that's good with me too.
Yeah. I just wanted to go back to the chat. Dylan says the P1X is a great throwing putter.
Oh, okay.
I've never thrown the P1X.
No.
I've never held it. Brendan obviously must have a short memory because he says, try the banger zone, the zanger. You'll like it for your high power.
We just learned
But-
in talking to Gabby that it's been a year since we talked to some of our guests on the show about things.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's got
Well-
a short memory. It was a year ago.
No, the fact that he gave me a zanger. Brendan, you gave me your zanger. I have it in my collection.
There you go.
And then Dylan kind of follows it up by saying that Daryl's allergic to anything but Innova. So that's why I don't throw it.
That's awesome. Well, good stuff. Well, Daryl, I know we're kind of getting to where we usually like to wrap these up, but one of the things I had in our
Oh, so Dylan
Yeah.
says the P1X is the 0, and that's what I
Okay.
putt with.
so if you could throw a U1X, then you should be able to throw a 0.
Well, yeah. Are we going to talk about that thing that we were going to talk about?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Or
well,
do you
like,
think we
yeah,
can?
no, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about putting out some more Instagram, more social media posts.
And just some more content, right?
Yeah, more content. The zinger, is it? Brendan says, then try the zinger. I think that's a burger for KFC, isn't it?
Most likely.
So sometimes we come up with ideas and then we just never get around to doing them because it's like our time is limited. And when we do get out to do anything, we just want to go out and have fun and we want to throw 18 holes.
We want we want that combination. But it is an idea factory over here.
Yeah, we've got lots of ideas. We just don't have a lot of time to do them. So
They're going to say we just don't have a lot of good ones.
I have a little bit extra time at the moment, and perusing social media, I came across this post from somebody else who was on Team Cardinal. He called DMC Creatives.
Mhm.
DM Creatives. He is throwing a putter only to see if he can par 18 holes in a row,
In a row.
only using a putter.
Wow. That's
So
a pretty good challenge.
That's his challenge, yeah. So if you imagine going out to Rundle Park, do you think you could par hole 1 with a putter?
Hole 1 on Rundle. Is he using all the same putter or is it just of a putter speed?
That I do not know.
Because I don't know. Is there such thing as a super? Yeah, there's some understable.
No, I would
putters.
say
I think
you
it's the
just-
same
I
putter.
think you would just take your putter.
Wow. Yeah, hole
So-
1, it would be a roller.
Hole 1 would be a little bit tricky,
With a
but then
bird.
you get to 2 and 3 and 4 maybe. But it's parring, right? So,
Oh, parring, not birdie.
No, it's not birdie,
That, or
no,
not
no, no.
eagles and
but
stuff.
he is parring every hole with a putter.
Okay, yeah, I think.
So I thought, well, I don't know if I could do that, but let me see how I can flip it around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on some content for a different kind of challenge. Can I go to Hermitage Park and birdie every hole with my full bag, but I can't move on to the next hole until I birdie the hole?
Oh,
So how many attempts or how many throws will it take me to birdie hole 1?
Yeah.
And then I can move on to hole 2. Hole 2 is a little bit easier. Birdie's on the card for us on hole 2.
Yeah.
I know we've both birdied hole 1 before, probably.
no.
You
I
never
have
birdied
not. No.
Okay.
Some of us aren't at the level that others are at the moment.
Some of us don't score -4 twice in a row. So let me just say, I've been working on it, and I've been out multiple days to Hermitage.
Yeah.
I won't tell you what hole I'm on. I won't tell you where I am in the thing. You'll have to stay tuned to our social media. But We just wanted to put that out there. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
And if you have any ideas for future challenges, something like that, maybe something that we can record.
Yeah.
Um,
If there's stuff that you like, we want to put
yeah.
it out there for you. But the one thing I'll tell you is Daryl did let me know that he was going to start this challenge. And as he started this challenge, I didn't get to see any of the video yet, but I might have got a sneak peek on how things were going. And all I could do was just text him incessantly going, "What hole are you on? What hole are you on? Have you gotten past hole one? Can you get past hole one? How many throws is it going to take?" And so if I'm that excited, I hope you guys are as excited when he starts releasing it. And is he going to even be able to do it?
Well, yeah. One thing that surprised me that I didn't actually take into consideration was when I said to you on the first day, I'm like, yeah, I went out this morning. I went out at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I threw a couple holes, and I did this and I did that, and I had to try. I did one attempt, I did second attempt, I did third attempt, then whatever happened, things like that. And you added up how many drives I had done.
Mm-hmm.
That I'd played more than a round of golf doing the amount of holes that I did, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I didn't even think of that.
And no spoilers, but yeah, you didn't throw the same amount of drives because it all happened at once, right? Like you
Yeah,
got each one on the first drive.
yeah, I didn't go 18 under. Yeah, and I got past hole one. It wasn't 18 drives on hole one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, there you go. Stay tuned to social media. It'll be up on Instagram. I'm thinking I'm going to start the series on Monday, and I'm probably going to try and post one a day.
And hopefully it doesn't go until the end of the year. Are you putting a limit on it, on the amount of time you have to get it done?
Yeah. So there was some talking to what would happen if I got stuck on a hole.
Right.
How many attempts would I take to throw the hole? How many days would it take me? When would I give up? And could I move on to another hole and come back to that hole if I couldn't complete it? Possibly reaching out to people on social media and saying, okay, this hole is not working. Like, what am I doing wrong? This is my bag. Give me another disc to throw because this is what I'm throwing. Give me another shot shape, whatever it might be.
Right.
So we'll see.
Okay.
I haven't put a limit on it, but
well, I'm excited. I'll be watching and commenting along. So if you see a chain out comment on a chain out post, it's you posting and me commenting.
Jeremy, chain out podcast, squiggly line. What do they call that squiggly line?
I don't think it has. I just call it a squiggle.
It must have a line.
That's probably is a real thing. But yeah, no, that's great. And the other thing too from you guys is if you like the Discape throws, you want to see us throw more new discs, let us know. We could do that. If you want to see some more course walkthroughs this year, maybe give us some suggestions on which course you'd like to see us walk through.
So yeah, I just want to go back to the chat again.
Yeah.
So Brendan said the ringer zone is the
zinger.
The zinger.
Okay.
And but the burger is good as well. Putt and approach or just putter, one disc or any putter. I think it was just one putter, and it was only one disc. So whatever.
But it was pars, so that kind of made me feel a little.
So you
bit
putt
better.
with the phi.
Yes, that's a 3401. So if you had a longer putter like that or a Recco or something like that,
but it would be that one phi.
Yep.
And you couldn't use 3 phis that you've got in your bag. You pick one disc, and that was your putter, and that's the one you're going to throw. So that's what I think it was.
It'd be a good challenge.
How many holes will you have played by the end? That's a good challenge.
Yeah.
Is it number or holes played or total throws?
For you, it's going to be you're going to try and birdie every hole.
Yeah, so it'll be 18 holes.
But you'll and what's your approach? Are you just going to play the hole once? And then if you don't get it, restart the hole? Are you going to throw multiple shots? What are you thinking?
So, like I said, I've done a couple holes, so I have come across this. When I first started, I threw a drive, went up to the drive, tried to make the long putt, because I figured, okay, maybe it might not be in birdie range, but everyone throws them in.
Yeah, you can get a throw in.
You can get a throw in.
Long
so, yeah, you can get a throw it, but by the end, or not by the end, but by a certain point, end of the day, I meant, by the one point, I was thinking, if I know I'm not going to make the putt from there or make the throw in, it was very unlikely, then I just went out and picked up the drive and came back again. So there were some times where I threw a drive, went out, or grabbed another disc, threw a drive. Sometimes I threw the drive, went up to it, putted, missed the putt, and then had to restart again. So I think by the end, I might throw multiple discs.
Okay.
And then go from there. Like work off the
Alright.
multiple drives rather than
Well,
throwing a drive and walking back. Because on hole 4, it's a long par 4.
yeah.
Hole 8 isn't really a long par 3 or par 4 because it's par 4 from the
Mhm.
Reds. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, in any event, it's going to be interesting to watch, and I'm excited to see it come out. So that'll be good. So
Yeah.
Monday, I'm watching. I'm ready.
I don't know when it'll be out because normally we put out at 7 a.m.
Ah,
It'll be out sometime in the
you'll
morning.
put out stuff. It'll be good. Well, that's it. That's kind of what we've got going on and around the basket today.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We will have another guest for you next week. We got a couple people we're working on. We should tell our listeners like we did last week.
We should say stay tuned for some special content.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of teased it earlier.
Yep.
We do have some special reels coming up.
That's right. We're trying. What we'd like to do is next week we're going to have Smith Lake Farms on. We're going to have Clea Adair and Chance Stad join us. And one of the things we really want to do is this is going to be an awesome event, and they want to get that thing going, and they want to get enough people that they can make sure they put it on. And it is not a cheap event, we know that, but it's more of a destination, right?
Right. But for what you're paying and what you're getting out of it,
Oh yeah,
it might be expensive, but you're getting
you're getting value for what you're going to
Yeah.
pay. So if you haven't booked your summer vacation yet this year and you're looking for something, tune in next week because we're going to be talking all about what you might want to be considering.
It's on social media, so
Yeah.
it's not like we're keeping anything.
Oh
hush
no,
hush.
yeah, it's not there. But I think what it's going to be cool is that in talking with Chance, one of the organizers, and with Clea, the owner of
Yeah.
Smith Lake Farms, you're going to see some stuff on Disc Golf Scene if you go check it out there, and you'll get an idea of what's happening. But we're going to get it straight from the source,
Yeah.
and that's going to be exciting.
Okay.
So Daryl, how do we end this one? I always forget. It's
Well-
after 3 hours of podcasting, and we're thinking about it.
What I would like to say
Mm-hmm.
is, if I'm out on the course and if you see this mad person throwing discs and walking up to them and picking them up and walking back to the tee and then throwing them again and walking back to the tee, you can pretty much guarantee that's me.
Yeah.
But if you wait at the end of the hole, by the time there will be a chance that I will get there eventually. And when I do get there, then I will see you around the basket. That was pretty slick, right?
That was awesome. It was really good.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.